Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is Strategy and Tactics number 145 from September 1991. Looks like back then it was only $13.75. I think these are around $30 now if you buy them one issue at a time. But anyhow, this has the game Trajan, the Roman Campaign in the East. I haven't looked through this yet. I got this at Border Wars for $5. Some guy was getting rid of his Strategy and Tactics collection. Border Wars is a convention in Missouri. It's a historical miniature convention, but occasionally they have hex and shit war games there for sale. It's a real small convention, but it's kind of cool. But anyhow, let's take a look at this game and see what it's about. Introduction. Trajan is a simulation of the Roman military campaign in the East, what is now Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, in the years 114 to 117 AD. The Romans, under the leadership of the Emperor Marcus Ulpius Nerva Trajan, conquered the Parthian kingdom and extended their Roman Empire's boundaries to the Persian Gulf. See how many pages of rules are in here. So it looks like with charts, it's about 14 pages. So that's typical for a strategy and tactics game. So it starts out with the introduction, then goes over the components. I'll show you those in a minute. And then it's showing what the unit counters are and what type of units there are and so forth. I assume any cataphract units. Yeah, cataphracts. Yeah, they were known for that, the Parthians. Alright, here's a sequence of play. That's what we're interested in. Goes by game years. There's a political event segment, then the Roman turn, which has the strategia marker segment, movement segment, combat, and supply. And then you have the Parthian turn, which has the strategium marker segment, movement segment, combat, supply, and completion of the turn. And then winter turns are conducted the same as campaign turns, except there are additional penalties for movement and supply. Alright, let's see the victory conditions here. So it's evaluated at the end of the scenario, and you evaluate the number and types of cities you control at the end of the game. Roman victory conditions: control one or more Parthian regional capitals, control both Armenian cities, control at least 40 cities, including those in A and B above. And the Parthian victory conditions: control one or more Roman provincial capitals, control both Armenian cities, and control at least 20 cities, including those in A and B above. And Optimus victory: if the following conditions come into effect, the game immediately ends in an Optimus most excellent victory for the player as follows. For the Romans, if they gain control of Ctesiphon, Europus, Regi, Hecatopolis, and Ecbatana for one complete turn. Parthians, if they gain control of 3 other cities. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these. If one player concedes, obviously it ends in victory for the other player, and if both players agree by mutual assent, they can end the game in a treaty, which is a tie. Additionally, certain scenarios have their own set of victory conditions. So now the game's going over leaders, their strategia markers. That sounds kind of interesting. It says each player has a set of 12 markers termed strategium markers. These represent various political and military capabilities, and it's explained on the player aid card. Alright, now it's talking about guardian units, force organization, intelligence, control of cities. Okay, for the strategia markers, it has a summary of them here. I would assume if this would have happened to have been a box game instead, they would have done those with cards and had the text for them instead of on counters. And here's some unit symbols and game markers. We got anything else here? We have a terrain effects chart, discipline table, and a basic game combat summary of unit strengths. Interesting. So let's take a look at the counters now. Counters look okay for back then. I mean, they're pretty plain, but they're okay. Some of them have a reverse side. Not too thin. They're okay. Let's take a look at the map. I'm going to assume the map has a lot of cities on it. Alright, yeah, it looks like there are a lot of cities. On the bottom here you have a terrain key, a turn record track, and a basic game battle display and a basic game siege display. Interesting. I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure I'll find out once I read the rules. And Roman charts, Parthian charts. Very interesting. Oh, look, maybe you do the battle on this section right here. That could be what's going on here. Interesting. Anyhow, I wanted to show you guys this. I'm glad I bought it. It was very inexpensive. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please click like on it. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a good evening.